So thanks once again for dropping by the channel. If you like the content, if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe, share the video if you enjoyed it, if you felt it was useful. Now let's get into this. So, Chris Kongo defeats Luther Clay, actually stops him in the 9th round. Very, very, very good performance from Chris Kongo. It was, he looked very, very impressive in there. For the first 3 rounds, Kongo was coming out and, he was moving, he was jabbing, he was on the back foot. I don't want to use this analogy, but I can see similarities between Chris Kongo and a young James DeGale. Now, he is trained by Jim McDonald, who was James DeGale's former trainer, and there was a few little times in there where there was little things he was doing that just looked very reminiscent to a young James DeGale, when James DeGale was in his prime, at least anyway. That was just a little thing I picked up on that. He's very long, very, very tall and lanky, very rangy. Uses his feet well. Throws good hooks throws good uppercuts. And he throws good lead left hooks. It was lead left hooks that actually got Luther Clay out of there. But I was very impressed with the first 3 rounds. I also noticed Luther Clay knew, right, I can't outbox this guy. So what he was doing was he was dipping low. He was getting body shots in there, and the body shots I was looking at, they looked sore. Some of those shots that he was hitting Chris Kongo with. So I was looking at that and I was thinking, I wonder how that's going to affect Chris Kongo late in the fight. So first 3 rounds I gave to Chris Kongo. I thought he outboxed Luther Clay. I thought he done very, very well. I thought his jab was on point. I thought his movement was very good. He just done what he needed to do for those first 3 rounds. The 4th round, I definitely thought Luther Clay won that round. He was landing some good body shots. He was starting to get warmed up, come into this fight a bit more, and I thought he definitely took that round. In the 5th round now, started off alright for Luther Clay, but then he got buzzed. Then he got buzzed by Chris Kongo, and he really just backed up against the ropes. He only really started holding on when it was almost too late. He was trying to slip and move and get some counters off when he was hurt, but Chris Kongo was just right on top of him. He wasn't letting him get shots off, and it was really only kind of when Chris Kongo pretty much kind of decided to pace himself was when he started to hold on. So maybe if he'd held on a bit earlier, he could have weathered that storm a bit quicker. He actually came on decent enough at the end of the 5th round, did Luther Clay, but the writing was really on the wall. The body shots that were getting landed by Luther Clay, they weren't having a detrimental effect on Chris Kongo. He was pacing himself very well. He was calm. He was composed. Decent amateur was Chris Kongo, experienced amateur. It really showed in this fight. He was using just his jab to good effect. He's using his legs to good effect. Lead left hooks. The lead left hooks I was quite impressed with. They looked very, very good. It was the lead left hooks that actually led to the knockout. And I was just very impressed what I saw from Chris Kongo in this fight. Luther Clay definitely had his moments. He did, and he's not, he's definitely not a terrible fighter, to say the least. He had his moments in there, but he was just outmatched. He was just outmatched. He was hurt again in the 9th round, and it did look like he probably wouldn't see the final bell. Even though, Chris Kongo, he doesn't, well, at least I didn't see him as being a devastating puncher necessarily. He looked almost as if he was trying to pay. It looked like Chris Kongo was throwing the shots early on in the round when he had Luther Clay hurt, but he kind of just decided to pace himself then a bit again, especially since it was late in the round. But then he landed a lead left hook, and that was all she wrote. It was a great lead left hook. Luther Clay went down. The corner threw in the towel. I think they knew themselves that their man was behind in this fight. He was competitive in the fight. Like, this wasn't like some of the fights we've seen on this fight camp where it's been just a complete mismatch, where one guy's taking a beating for 8-9 rounds and the corner don't do anything. No, this fight was reasonably competitive, although, Chris Kongo was winning the fight comfortably by the time of the knockout. This was a reasonably competitive fight, but the gap was there. You could see the gap. You could see the pedigree of Chris Kongo. You could see the boxing skill of Chris Kongo. He just looked the better fighter altogether. So there's a couple of guys' names in there, British level. There's obviously Josh Kelly. God only knows what he's going to do. Seriously, I mean, God only knows what he's doing these days. You've got guys like Josh Kelly, Chris Jenkins. You also have Conor Benn, whose name is out there. I'd pick Chris Kongo to beat Conor Benn. I would. I think he boxed the head off him. I think Conor Benn, even though he's been a pro for a couple of years, he still comes across as very raw. Not particularly big for welterweight either. So I think someone like Conor Benn versus Chris Kongo, I'd be picking Chris Kongo to win that fight, definitely. So yeah, this was a good fight. I enjoyed it. It wasn't like a barn burner or anything like that, but it was a competitive fight. It was a decent fight, and Chris Kongo marches onwards, moves on to bigger, better things. Looked very good. You know, showed some good boxing skills, showed some decent punching power, and he got the job done. So, you know, I was impressed with him. I was impressed by some of the things I saw in there. You know, the movement, the defense, the punch on the inside, just the jab, just being able to control that range. Some good stuff in there. Some very good stuff in there. So I was impressed by this fight. So those are my thoughts on this. Let me know yours. How far do you think Chris Kongo can go? And are you like me, someone who thinks that if they put him in there with someone like Conor Benn next, that he would win? Let me know your thoughts down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, of course, if you are new. And as always, people, I will talk to you